Hey everyone, so I'm here just to basically talk about my labor and delivery story and talk about Madeline a little bit and how she is doing in her progress in the NICU. So she will be in the NICU for 2 weeks on Sunday, not this Sunday, but next Sunday, but she will be out before her 2-week mark, so that's awesome. She will be either out between Wednesday and Friday of next week, so that's Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday she'll be out. They say Wednesday is a hopeful dream, so it'll be more like Thursday or Friday she gets out, because discharge and all of that, and I have to take a class tomorrow called Fast Track to Discharge. And that's basically like a 3-hour class where I go in at 2 and come out at 5, and I'm sleeping there that night, so that's perfectly fine. She had jaundice, so right now she's under a blue light. This is her second day under the blue light. She'll get off tomorrow. Her jaundice level did come down, so that's really great. She's back at 8 point something, but that's still a little bit high, so they're going to keep her on for one more night, check her levels in the morning, and then she'll get off. She's been feeding really well. When I gave birth to her, she was dehydrated because I was dehydrated during labor. I got a fever and they had to put me on Tylenol and antibiotics, and she had been on antibiotics when she was born for 2 days, for her first 2 days of life, but she got out. Normally they'd have to keep her on for 7 days, but nothing was infected. She didn't have an infection. She didn't have any diseases or anything like that, so she was perfectly fine. So she got off at 48 hours just to, they just put her on just to make sure everything was okay. So that was really awesome. She's been doing amazing. That's why they're releasing her so early. She was born 6 pounds, 6 ounces, and 19.5 inches. And both of my cats are here. But they both can sense someone's coming. So there's one cat, and then Vicky's all the way in the corner over there, if you can see. Oh no, that's wrong corner. Yeah, she's right there. Those ears. Yep. So anyways, Madeline is doing amazing right now. She has been doing amazing since she was born. She just was a preemie, so they wanted to keep her, and so she'll be 36 weeks when she is released. And this one wants me to lay down and sleep with her, which I will be in a minute. I love you. I love you, baby. But yeah, breastfeeding has been going, finally. It did take a couple days for my milk supply to come in because she was born early, so the milk supply didn't come in right away. And even with my mom, she had me 39 weeks, and I was only 2 days early. I was supposed to be born on the 15th, but I was born on the 13th of February, so I was only 2 days early, and her milk didn't come in until a day after I was born. So even then, it's your body has to get used to, oh, you just gave birth, there's a baby now that needs it, basically. And so it's just finally coming in. So that's been really tough because I felt so helpless, because for 2 days she was only on fluids to keep her hydrated and didn't have any food, so she was starving. So I finally gave in and just said, okay, feed her formula, keep her happy and healthy, just do that. And that would help with also the jaundice level so that she would poop it all out. Yeah, so because I originally just wanted to breastfeed, and I will eventually just breastfeed as long as just my milk supply needs to fully come in, which it should be by tomorrow with how much I've been pumping lately and how much she's been, she actually got some milk today, which was amazing, because she has to drink 30 cc's, which is about an ounce of milk, and they want to get her to 40 cc's by tonight so that she can get the IV out for the fluids and stay hydrated and get all her nutrients from the milk. What, Zoe? All 3 of my cats are in. Great. Alright, she wants to go out. But, yeah, so my labor and delivery story started Saturday. Right, Zoe? It started Saturday, and come on. It was around 10:30 a.m. They're letting out. But it was around 10:30 a.m. and I was in Walmart waiting for the line or the person to like get everything, because I was getting my last items for Madeline, which thank God I did. But I still need a diaper bag, and I'm hopefully getting one before she comes home next week. I'm getting it off Toys R Us because I have a $50 gift card from my baby shower, so that will be really helpful. But yeah, so I'm getting that. I got a bassinet and a nursing pillow, which the nursing pillow has come in really handy lately. I don't know, I got a couple other things, so that was just the last touches. I also got sheets for the crib, which I had sheets. I had one set, but I needed 2 more because I was just, you know how many times you have to change them throughout the week and night because of babies. So that's that. But basically, after all of that went through and happened, it was around 12 a.m. that I really started getting pain. And all the pain was in my back. It wasn't in my stomach. It was in my back until I really got contractions. But it was early labor that I was in all through Saturday until 12 a.m. Sunday morning, technically. And I went to the movies with my friend Sarah from 10:30 till 12 a.m. She dropped me off at my house. And so, yeah, she was supposed to sleep over. Thank God she didn't that night, because she would have had to go to the hospital or go home. So that was really cool that she didn't, and I think God just planned it that way to let me have one last night and then go into labor. But yeah, so I was in labor for a total of 36 hours altogether, because I started labor at 10:30 a.m. Saturday morning, had her at 10:30 p.m. Sunday night, in exactly the same time range, 10:30 a.m., 10:30 p.m., exact times it started and ended. So from 10:30 a.m. till 12 a.m. on Saturday and Sunday, I was just in early labor. It wasn't bad. Then around 12:30, I got everything done, took a shower. No, I didn't take a shower at that point. I just brushed my hair, brushed my teeth, got ready for bed, changed, laid down, and then I really started getting bad back labor contractions, and it hurt so bad, and I was screaming in pain for 2 hours until I finally decided to wake my mom up. I don't know how she didn't wake up with me screaming in that much pain and swearing the whole time. But I finally woke her up at 2:30. And I thought I was labor the whole day and all of the time, but I was just like, no, maybe it's not. Maybe it's just discomfort, and maybe she's just leaning on something, because it didn't hurt too bad on Saturday. But then, like I said, Sunday at 2:30 a.m., I couldn't take it anymore. I woke up my mom. I was like, we're calling the midwife because I need to know if this is labor or not, because it kills me. And so we did. And they were coming every 5 minutes at that point. So I would start and stop, and yeah, and while I was stopping, I was obviously on the phone. And then finally, I was just like, I need to know, do I go to the hospital? And she's like, go to the hospital and check in. So I got to the hospital around 4 a.m., and at that point in time, they said it was a UTI, and I was having contractions. They were monitoring my contractions. They were about 5 minutes apart still at the hospital. And by the end of 4 hours, they were 3 minutes apart, but they just gave me a shot to stop the contractions and go home. So around 8 a.m. I went home, and I was back in the hospital at 1. So about 5 hours later, I was back in the hospital with the same amount of pain, had the same amount of pain throughout that whole time. It was just horrible. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't eat. I couldn't do anything. It hurt. I was sitting there screaming in pain. I would lay down. I would walk. Everything just hurt. And I couldn't even poop. I felt like I had to poop the whole time. Another sign of labor. And it was just so much pain. There was nothing I could do to make it better. They gave me antibiotics because it was a UTI, supposedly. Wasn't. Because I don't have to take the antibiotics, nothing's wrong with me. They retested, everything was fine. So I was just like, how does that happen? maybe like when the placenta came out, all of that stuff came out. I don't know, but they also had me on antibiotics for 24 hours straight with intravenous, which means they had the IV with antibiotics and fluids just to keep me hydrated and everything, because I was dehydrated during labor. That's why she has to be on the fluids, because she also got dehydrated. So that happened and everything like that. So I didn't get my epidural until about 7 o'clock at night, and until then I was at 4 centimeters, and when I had my epidural, I was still at 4 centimeters, and they finally decided to break my water. And after that I slept, because I could finally sleep peacefully without contractions. And so I slept for a couple hours, and then I woke up, and then they checked me again, and I was at 9.5 centimeters, which was great, because that means she was coming. So that at that time it was on like 10, or like, no, 9:30 they checked it. And then I didn't have her for an hour later, but 20 minutes of that was pushing. But then I want to say around 10 they said, okay, it's time to start pushing. And so I did, and then in between contractions I could take a break and just calm down and relax, and then I would push, and I pushed really well. They said she came out, the first thing she did was cry, and I was so happy, because again, I was 34 weeks, so her lungs couldn't have been developed. There could have been a lot of things wrong with her. Thank God there was nothing wrong with her. She was 6.6 pounds, which makes everyone think that she is older than 34 weeks. I believe she's older than 34 weeks. When I first found out I was pregnant, I did not know the exact dates, and I was basically told I was 6 weeks from an ultrasound, and ultrasounds can be wrong. So they only are keeping her till she is 36 weeks, just to make sure. But yeah, we all think she's older than 34 weeks, but again, we can't be sure. So we're just making precautions and making sure she's okay. And I'd rather be in the hospital than me have to drive her to the hospital if something goes wrong at home. So she's doing really well. She was, again, born 10:30 at night on October 26th. And she is one healthy baby. The only thing that was wrong was the jaundice, but all babies get that, or almost all. I had jaundice. My mom had jaundice, I'm pretty sure. And I was a full-term baby. But she's basically a full-term. And they said if she really is 34 weeks, if you would have went to 40 weeks, she would have been 10 pounds. So, yeah. And I had no rips or tears down there, so I don't have to have stitches or anything. So I'm just healing normally. I guess I will show you my stomach, because that's postpartum update, I guess. But I will do an actual postpartum update later on this week. Yeah, so here we go with my stomach. So I really have lost a lot of weight. I am back to 136. I was 130 pre-pregnancy, or 129. So I have 7 more pounds to go to be back to my normal size. But like I said, I really did lose a lot of weight in my stomach. My belly button went back to its normal in basically the whole time. There's still that little scarring. That's just scar tissue from my belly button piercing. It's not even infected anymore. It's literally just scar tissue. I still have my stretch marks, which aren't going to go away for a while. I know that. My stomach again from the side. So yeah, right now this is all just like extra skin. Hopefully it tightens up soon. I don't know. Breastfeeding should help with that. And yeah, so that's everything with that. And I think that's it. I will talk to you later. Bye guys.